you the remarkable life of a Nigerian businesswoman who has overcome significant challenges to become one of the most successful entrepreneurs in Africa. Let me tell you about the strength, resilience, and passion for success of a woman who journeyed into the male-dominated world of oil exploration and production. A woman who displayed her love for philanthropic endeavors and her commitment to empowering others, particularly women and young people. This woman is Folorunsho Alakija. It takes only the brave, courageous, and smart-minded people to become rich and influential personalities in the world. In Africa, when we mention the names of rich and powerful women, you must mention the name Folorunsho Alakija, the richest woman in Africa. Her net worth, according to Forbes, is $1 billion. Now, how did she start? Let's take you down memory lane on the life of Folorunsho Alakija. Folorunsho Alakija was born on Sunday, 15th July 1951 to Chief L.A. Ogbara, her father, and Mrs. Ogbara, her mother, who is a businesswoman. She was born into a polygamous family of 8 wives and 52 children. Her mother was the first wife, and she was the 8th child of her mother. Young Folorunsho grew up at her family house located at Ido Oluwo Street, Ikorodu, Lagos. She had her nursery education at Our Lady of Apostles Nursery School from 1955 to 1958, also in Lagos. At the age of 7, her parents enrolled her at a primary school in Wales called Dino Ben School for Girls in Wales. She was in that boarding school for 4 years before she returned to Nigeria. After her primary education, she attended Muslim High School, Shagamu, Ogun State in 1963. Well, during the holidays, she would go to her mother's shop to participate in the textile business. She would learn about trading and marketing of textiles. Generally, she learned a lot of tricks about business. After graduation from high school, she enrolled at Pitman Central College, London, to study secretarial studies. In 1974, Folorunsho started her career working as an executive secretary at Sejuade Enterprises. After gaining some experience there, she moved on to First National Bank of Chicago, now First City Monuments Bank, working as the executive secretary to the managing director. Later, she was appointed the new head of the Corporate Affairs Department of the International Merchants Bank of Nigeria, formerly First National Bank of Chicago. She moved on in her career to become office assistant to the Treasury Department. After spending 12 years in the banking sector, Folorunsho traveled to London in 1984 to study fashion designing. She studied intensive courses in millinery and fashion design at the American College in London and the Central School of Fashion. When she returned to Nigeria, she established her fashion label called Supreme Stitches. Within 3 weeks of setting up her business, she was invited to take part in a fashion competition. Folorunsho won the competition that brought her straight into the limelight of the fashion industry in Nigeria. Prominent women from different parts of the country started making clothes with her. Her fashion company thrived successfully, and a few years later, she renamed it to the Rose of Sharon House of Fashion, making it a proper fashion line. As her success in fashion grew, she was later made national president of the Fashion Designers Association of Nigeria, FADON, and a lifelong trustee of the association. By the early 1990s, Folorunsho decided it was time to expand her business tentacles to oil and gas. Her company, FAMFA Limited was incorporated in September 1991. The company applied for an oil prospecting license, OPL, to explore a 617,000-acre block for oil, now OPL 216. In August 1993, the company was awarded the leasehold rights of OPL 216 oil block, and it was renamed officially. FAMFA Oil was changed to FAMFA Oil Limited. Its goal was to be the forefront of indigenous oil and gas exploration and production in Nigeria. Folorunsho got on board the exploration of a major deep water oil field located 1,500 meters off the Niger Delta, the Agbami field. She gained access by partnering with Star Deepwater Petroleum, a subsidiary of Texaco, through a joint venture agreement. FAMFA Oil Limited then appointed Star Deepwater Petroleum as its official technical advisor for the OPL 216 exploration license. The company received 40% of FAMFA's 100% stake, while the remaining 60% was retained by FAMFA and the Alakija family. It was discovered in 1998 by Shell. Star Deepwater Limited, an affiliate to Chevron, functions as the operator of the field. Through her company, FAMFA, Folorunsho and other companies are oil benefactors of the Agbami field. The Agbami field was first discovered in 1998 but only became active in 2008. Its operations will last throughout 2024. After a majority of its vast reserves would have been extracted, she had to fight back against the government in court for laying claims to a 50% stake in her company. It was initially a 40% stake, but the government later returned for an additional 10%, claiming that the company generated a revenue of $10 million from the oil block. Folorunsho felt it was unfair because her company had worked hard, invested everything in the business. When the fruits of their labor started to manifest, that's when the government took everything away. The Alakija family fought the government in court until they won on May 22, 2012. The first drilling of the Agbami well was done on 15 July 1998. The exploratory well was about 4,700 feet underwater, which was the deepest depth in Nigeria at that time. From the license application to the point of the company's first strike, there was an interval of 17 years. Today, FAMFA Oil Limited is a leading oil and gas exploration company. Folorunsho Alakija has other businesses in property, real estate, and in printing. She owns Dayspring Property Development, a real estate company with investments in different parts of the world. She also owns Digital Reality Print Limited, a printing company and corporate services provider. And in the area of philanthropy, Folorunsho's success story would not be complete without mentioning how she wants to give back to society. She wants to help those in need. Hence, she started the Rose of Sharon Foundation, which was created in 2008. It is a registered faith-based NGO that has empowered widows and their families and orphans to be successful through education programs and scholarships up to the university level within the country, Nigeria. Through FAMFA Oil Limited, Folorunsho also hands out yearly scholarships to 9,000 medical and engineering students across the nation. The foundation has also donated a total of 21 chest clinics for the treatment of tuberculosis in 21 states across Nigeria, including the Niger Delta region and Lagos State. They have successfully donated 4 e-libraries and 2 school libraries to schools within the nation. In addition, she has a foundation created to empower women called Flourish Foundation. It encourages women in their different careers and provides grants for female entrepreneurs who want to start a business. Folorunsho is also a writer and has written a few books. For instance, one of the books titled The Cry of Widows and Orphans and the University of Marriage, and also the Folorunsho Alakija Speaks, to mention a few. Now, Folorunsho's personal life would not be complete in this article without mentioning her husband, Mr. Modupe Alakija. Folorunsho and Modupe got married in November 1976. Their marriage is blessed with 4 sons and their grandchildren, and they reside in Lagos, Nigeria. Folorunsho holds so many awards and recognitions for her contribution to society. She holds 6 honorary degrees and a fellowship at the Yaba College of Technology. In July 2013, she was appointed as the Vice Chairman of Nigerian National Heritage Council and Endowment for Arts. She became the first female chancellor in Osun State University and Nigeria's first female chancellor on the 9th of March 2016. She is also one of the Lagos Business School's alumnus and a member of the Commonwealth and Investment Council Advisory Board. She is also an advisory board member for Center of African Studies, Harvard. On July 17, 2021, Benson Idahosa University, Benin City, bestowed on her an honorary doctorate degree in business administration. In conclusion, Folorunsho Alakija's story is a tale of hard work, determination, persistence, and courage. She was able to build up her marriage, raise an upstanding family, and build her empire. She also faced challenges in her life, but she conquered these challenges. She is living proof that success is not limited by gender, age, nationality, or financial backgrounds, but rather success is the product of courage to take risks and stand up strong in the face of adversity.
At the core of what makes us human is our ability to pay attention, be present in our experiences, and channel our thoughts and actions towards meaningful goals. However, for individuals with ADHD, which is considered a neurodevelopmental disorder, a medical condition that affects the brain, this fundamental aspect of human nature is often disrupted, leading to difficulties in maintaining focus, controlling impulses, and regulating behaviors.
Hyperactivity disorder is a neurodevelopmental disorder that occurs in children and adolescents. It's a problem that has to do with brain development and the brain function. And the ADHD symptoms range from inattention, impulsivity, and hyperactivity. They may be very restless, fidgeting, and they're always on the move. And sometimes they may be climbing, jumping from here and there. They may injure themselves in the process.
Attention deficit hyperactivity disorder, ADHD, is one of the most common mental disorders diagnosed in children, though it can persist into adolescent and adulthood. The history dates back to 1798, when a Scottish doctor, Sir Alexander Crichton, observed that some individuals were easily distracted and unable to focus on their activities as others could. He noted that these symptoms often began early in life, which is consistent with what we now recognize as ADHD. The disorder typically manifests between the ages of 3 and 6, with symptoms such as difficulty in focusing, excessive movement inappropriate to the setting, and impulsive actions occurring without forethought. This ailment affects people of all ages, though most commonly diagnosed in children. The average age of onset is around 7 years, with symptoms significantly impacting various aspects of life. Approximately 5 to 10 of children worldwide are affected, with the highest prevalence rates observed in Africa at 8.5% and South America at 11.5%. Variations exist across different countries, with lower rates in Japan and Finland and higher rates in Jamaica and Thailand. In the United States, about 7% of children are diagnosed with this disorder, reflecting an average of prevalence globally.
Differentiate between ADHD and other neurodevelopmental disorders. It starts with comprehensive assessment. And when I talk about assessment, I mean assessment by child psychiatrists, assessment by child psychologists, and other professionals in the mental health team. And of course, there are some basic symptoms that are very clear and obvious. The clinical presentation, when you see a child that is hyperactive, that is impulsive, that is inattentive, that itself can give you a clue that that child may be having ADHD symptoms. And again, you also take further history. You may need to take, if there's a family history of ADHD in the setting, because if there's a family history of ADHD, the child may come up with ADHD in the nearest future.
Individuals affected faces challenges that extend into academic performance, work.
Of course, by combining the report from the child psychiatrist and the child psychologist, you'll be very comfortable to make a diagnosis. And of course, I must say that there are some childhood disorders that may mimic ADHD, like learning disability, like autism spectrum disorders. But the symptoms of ADHD are so very obvious that when you see a child that is hyperactive and oftentimes restless, oftentimes impulsive and unable to follow instructions, that should give you a high index of suspicion that that child may be struggling with attention deficit hyperactivity disorder.
While it's not a physical ailment like a broken bone, it is a real condition that is frequently accompanied by other conditions such as major depressive disorder, anxiety, substance abuse, learning disabilities, conduct disorder, and oppositional defense disorder, which complicates the management and treatment of the disorder. Treatments for ADHD typically involves a combination of medical therapy and behavioral interventions. Stimulants are also the most commonly used, with 70 to 80% of children experiencing symptoms relief. Cognitive behavioral therapy, anger management, and family therapy are key in managing symptoms, along with educational interventions that enhance coping strategies and organizational skills. While these treatments help manage ADHD, they do not cure it, highlighting the need for ongoing support and personalized care. Attention Deficit Hyperactivity Disorder, ADHD, is a complex condition with far-reaching effects on behavior, cognition, and emotional well-being. Continued research and effective treatments are vital in helping those affected lead fulfilling lives and contribute meaningfully to their society. Grace Komolafe, Souqnews TV.
Welcome to Femi Walsh Limited, owners of SOUQ TV Lagos, Our Radio Lagos, Kaswa Radio Kano, and of course Emirates TV Abuja and Dubai. Our niche market for media is business, economy, and development. At Femi Walsh, we promote your company's products and services using our world-class facilities. From our radio to SOUQ TV, what you get is nothing but the best of the very best.
And if you're looking for the premium production firm for your events and corporate coverage, think no further, because we offer you the best of industry standards.
With high-definition cameras ranging from 4K to 8K multicam setups, high-directional microphones, and real-time streaming encoders, we give you a production like none other. And if you're looking to produce podcasts, adverts, and documentaries, our team of experts will ensure that you convey your message clearly and professionally. Femi Welsh, Global Vision, Local Impact.